a little top tip with your cable ties. Open them with a little slot. That way you can just grab one cable tie at a time and they don't all fall out in your van. So they never fall out of there. Save you a few quid in cable ties over the years, not having them spill everywhere. Right guys, I've been called out. I've not looked at this job before. I've been called out to change this electric boiler. They say the units keep failing. There's a few, you can see there's a few on the floor. It's basically this one's split. I'm not too sure where it's leaked, but I'm not too sure if the pipework's correct. You need to have a proper look. I mean, it's not the best plumbing you're ever going to see in your life, to be honest with you. Obviously we've got flow and return coming out there. It loops behind this oil boiler. We've got some sort of expansion. Say first time I've seen this, so I've not properly been through the actual plumbing. Don't know if that's the expansion for the oil boiler or what it is, and then obviously it feeds into this pool arrangement here. So I need to have a proper look at the pipework, because obviously these units shouldn't be splitting. Obviously I'm not sure if it's got expansion on it or what it is. I'm not too sure. Basically this is just an electric boiler. Obviously there's no flue, it's just a power supply coming in and then it just heats up. So we'll have a look anyway. The electrician's bringing the new unit out shortly, but we need to have a look at the pipework to find out what's going on and why the units keep failing. It could be that there is a pipework error. First thing I'm going to do on this unit is just make sure it is electrically isolated. I'm going to do safe isolation procedure, just testing live to neutral and stuff, neutral to earth, etc., as per the safe recommendations really. And then we're just going to isolate this and we're just going to drain the water out of it. It's probably, not too sure, that PRV feels buggered to me anyway, it's not even turning, so not too sure what's going on with that, but we'll isolate it and disconnect the unit, and then hopefully the new unit should be on site then. So I've managed to wedge that PRV open. It's actually operating backwards to what it normally was. That would normally be open, turning it that way, but this one seems to go that way for some reason. So I'm just going to disconnect it off these two 22 compression fittings on there, and the whole unit should just lift off once we disconnect the electric cable out of it as well, which looks like the cable comes in, where's it coming in? Oh, it's coming in through this side at the back and then across the top, and we disconnect it off them two terminals there. So I've gone through my safe isolation procedure. What I've done is taken a picture of how these electrical connections are made up. I know the electrician's coming anyway, but it's always handy to have a reference. So the boiler's just finished draining into my plumb tub. I've disconnected these on here. The other flow's disconnected as well. So it should just be a case of once we get that cable undone, we should just be able to lift the boiler off then. There is actually an expansion vessel inside this unit. I didn't notice it at the start, but that should in theory be enough to take the expansion in here. We'll double check it though. It's possibly that expansion vessel's failed and then the boiler's actually split. So behind this jig there's an expansion vessel in there. You'll probably see it better from there. So I've disconnected the mains cable out of it. Hopefully I can just feed that back through the hole. This is the one coming in through the top. That'll feed back on itself. These units are dead light to lift off the wall. There's absolutely no weight to them at all. So you should just be able to lift that off, and then when the new unit arrives it should just be a straight swap hopefully. If not, we can just alter the pipes. So we've just bolted the new unit on the wall, got it nice and level. The pipework connections are a little bit different, so we just need to alter these quickly. It won't take very much. And this one's even got a bypass in, so we've got expansion vessel, same as the other one, pump. The connections are the same size, so we just need to alter them, wire it back in, and that should be job done. I think the old one had actually split on the top, so it pinholed here and sprayed out apparently, so that's what it was anyway. If you didn't know with these box spanners, you can join them all together. We needed a long one just to reach the nuts at the top. I know I could have got my socket set out, but I carry them in my toolbox, so you can join them together and you can just use it as an improvised spanner just to tighten them up. So it's a handy little trick when you're struggling underneath the kitchen sink. Sometimes it is handy to join a few together so you can obviously get a longer reach. So all I'm going to do with these is use a couple of compression sockets on and just bend the pipes back into the unit. Carry all my compression bits in the van in these boxes. So all my compression of this side, solder to this side. So nice and easy to get to. So we're just going to alter these pipes. It has got a filter on it, but it does go into a plate heat exchanger. So I'll ask the guy if he wants a magnetic filter putting on. I don't really think it needs it because it goes into a plate heat exchanger on the pool. It's not like we've got radiators or anything like that on it. So we have already got separation between the dirty water and the clean water. But as I say, they've put that on, but we'll have a see if it needs a magnetic on it. All we've done is cut the pipes back there and just bent new bits up into the unit because the pipe connections were different. So we've just got the flow to do. We've got to sort this PRV out as well because that's shocking. But other than that, it's just a case of connecting the electrics in and that should be job done then. Right, so we've wired it back in. The boiler's just heating up now. We've just got to set this bypass off. It has got a filter inside anyway, but we've done our best with the pipe work. It's not the best, but you know, we're going to lag this back up. We're going to sort this PRV out as well. It did all leak on that connection, but it is what it is. We're just tying it up. Well, it leaks on everything actually, to be honest with you. All these leaked, but it's heating up now actually. So that's our flow. It's getting quite warm already. But so we just got to do something to this, lag the pipes. I know I've used compression and I soldered that because I cut it short, but my mistake. But yeah, hopefully that should be job done. As I say, all it does, it heats this and then it goes into this. It goes into this big heat exchanger which heats the pool then. But they want to use the electric because they get free electric here off the AD plan. So they don't want to use the oil boiler because obviously it costs them money. So that's pretty much my bit done anyway. I've got a leak on the stop tap. This one's going to be a tricky one. What I'm going to do is try and cut it here. I'm going to use two compression elbows and with the solder a piece of part position and try and get that in there. But I've not got a lot of room because it's all on bends. And the pipe's already dented as well. So it's going to be a tricky one this. I was going to try and do it like that, but I haven't got enough room to even get that in because I'm too far on my bends. I think I'm going to have to use a couple of 45s and swing it back. I don't know, this one's just going to be tricky. Just managed to cut the pipe out. Got a little bit wet, but I think it's leaking both sides of that. Tricky little job. Right, I've got the water all back on. That is the only way I can do that job because it on bends. So I've had to use compression, a couple of M&F 45s and then just into there, so it's, at least the isolator works now. It's just where we're working, it's behind all this commercial kitchen equipment, so it's always tricky, but you can only do your best. Right, we're back on this one today. It's Monday morning actually. My day is going terribly so far. I've ordered an electric boiler for another job which I was supposed to be fitting. Let me spin you around. There it is. Put the camera too far away. So I ordered an electric boiler for another job but it didn't turn in, so I've come here for a bit, try and get some of these pipes lagged. I've got a few other jobs to do here anyway, but it's just one of them days where things go wrong and then you're just chasing your tail all week, and it's only a 4-day week as well because of the bank holiday, so we'll get done when we can. As I said, there's a few bits to finish here. It just messes your literally whole week up because that job is booked in for today. I've now had to cancel that. Hopefully the boiler's in for tomorrow, so yeah, we'll see what we can do. Obviously I had nothing else planned because I was supposed to be doing that, but it is what it is. I sent another lad to strip out a kitchen, but there was a gas hob, he hadn't got his gas, so I've had to go and cap the gas hob off for him. So yeah, it's just been a bit of a mess of a day today already, but hopefully the week gets better. I'm just relaxing and just lagging some pipes. So yeah, I'll crack on with this and yeah, I'll update you when I can. All I've got to do is lag these all the way across, and then Jacob's just finishing off over there, but I'll only be able to get 9mm lagging on them bits. It's just how it is. You can only do your best. So yeah, just get this little bit finished. I've got the shower waste to do through there as well, but the plasters are in there at the minute. Basically the drain's coming up in the wrong place. I'll get a few shots in a minute anyway, but that's pretty much the gist of what we've got to get done today. So I've now got all the information from my shower tray that's going in. I need to go in there in a second and get the floor chopped up because at the minute the waste is over here for it, which is not under the tray, so we just need to bring it across and set this up because the tile is coming on Wednesday. Obviously we try and get the tray in before then, but we need to get that floor chopped in so it's drying. Obviously we need to get that tiled. Somebody was asking what lagging tool I use. I use this Pipe Lagger Pro. I think there's a few different ones now, but this is the one I use. I've had it a few years, so you can tell it's bust. But you basically get a blade with it, you get the former, and you get a sharpening tool with it as well. I quite like lagging pipes because I've never had any lagging leak yet. It's pretty much the only thing in plumbing that I've not had leak is lagging. But you can make a neat job with this, to be fair. And I paid about, I think it was about 40 quid. I can't actually remember because I've had it about 5 years now. But yeah, I busted it, but I just repaired it. It does the same job. So yeah, that's what I use. And there's a few places you can get it from, but that's the official website. But I've got all this lag with the thick stuff, but unfortunately across this top here, we're having to use the 9mm because that's all we can get on. You can only do your best, so it'll be fine. As I say, it's just how we didn't want to drill the joists or anything because obviously the building's probably nearly falling down anyway, so we'll have to use the slightly thinner stuff. But yeah, other than that, we're just got a little bit to finish at the far end on the boiler, and then all across there is done. We've just got a few bits to finish at the end as well, just for the outside tap. So yeah, looking pretty good. We might put some cable ties on this. Obviously there'll be some insulation to go on top, some rock wool anyway. But yeah, just a boring little job, but it is what it is. I quite enjoy it actually. So I had to chop into the concrete floor to get the shower waste altered. It wasn't too bad to chop into. Luckily I didn't have any underfloor heating pipes under this area, because I actually thought the tray was going all the way along. So it's just a case of altering it and then just bringing the waste pipe along to the correct position really. I've had to chop that whole piece out because the floor screed was loose anyway there. It's just where I've been chopping, so we'll screed all this back in. I've got to try and get that socket off. Once I get that off, it should be fairly easy. Right, I've got that socket off. I just need to use one of them. I'll cut that down with the multi-tool, get that in, and then we just need to pipe across. I need to get all this screeded back in. I had to chop it all out because it was loose. There's no point leaving bits that are loose, so I'll get that made good. I can leave this bit for today anyway until I get my tray, but I just need to get this done, so. That should be fine. That's gone in there plenty. That'll take 1.5 and 1.25. So we're using 1.5. We just need to bring that along to here. That's where the trap's going. So we'll bring that along. But as I say, I need to get this bit made good because obviously we need the floor going off because the tile is going to come in later in the week hopefully. Long street elbow should go straight in there. A little bit tight. That'll go in there. And then we're just going to bring that along, and then we're probably going to leave it about here just so we can get this bit all repaired, and then when we screed the tray in we can make that last little bit up when we get the trap in. I've just set my shower waste up in the floor. I've made all this up. So now all I need to do is bed some sand and cement down, just bed this tray in. So it's dead set that way. These are quite good actually because the washers don't come off on these. So just silicone on top and then bed it in. So I've just done a dummy test for my tray to make sure the waste and everything lines up. I will silicone on top of that washer, but I'm going to bed this down in sand and cement. So it's not looking too bad. We just need to build it up at the front just a touch. But my mate's just mixing some gobbo up and we'll get this bedded on and then it'll be nice and solid. So my mate's mixed some gobbo up to about 4 and 1 and it's not the biggest trowel in the world, but we'll just get this spread out. And what's a nice even coat, so it's just so we can tamp it down and that should be solid then. So what I'm doing is just making a nice even base all the way along. We just need to mix some more up and then I'll silicone on top of that and then bed the tray down. These are good because this washer doesn't lift off. So that's how I always do mine anyway. So I've spread all my sand and cement out. It looks a little bit pale because we've used white cement, that's all it was. I've siliconed on top of my waist fitting. I always do it like that, and then when I come to put the top fitting on, I'll silicone around it again on the top piece. So it should just be good just to tamp the tray down now, because that is all fully covered. All I do is run some silicone around there as well. And then that, I just need to line it up a little bit better. That will just pull across and screw straight in there. Then we can just tamp the tray down and that should be bang perfect then. So we've got this tray dead level on all corners. We're just going to silicone around the outside. Just let that go off, but that'll be perfect. So the waste is all made up. We just need to clean this out, clean all the tray off, and that'll be perfect. So I've just whipped a bead of silicone around the outside. It doesn't have to be anything special because the mermaid board will cover and then we'll silicone it again. But we'll just let the tray go off now. It is dead level in all directions. We've made the waste kit up. Just need to wipe it off and that'll be it. Job done. Nice and easy. I appreciate all you guys watching this week. I do have a TikTok account now, so if you want to go follow me over on TikTok, it's just Plumber Like Tom. I just post random little bits on there when I get time to upload. As I say, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, if you could hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. And I'll see you all in the next episode. You guys have a great bank holiday weekend.